Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Due to the weather, again we have the video from inside. I hope you're okay with this, but I really want to record this one and give you some updates about some very interesting articles that I came across. And of course, before the end of this video, I will bring the comments of the day from few of you. And on that note, I just want to express my gratitude to all of those who have recently and before as well subscribed to my channel. Means a lot to me. Those who are leaving the comments, incredibly grateful for you guys and for your likes as well and sharing the videos. You have no idea how much this means to me, and I very much appreciate it. So let's start with what Donald Trump has recently said. That was actually, probably majority of you already know those statements he made. During his visit to South Carolina, he had a rally there. By the way, I used to live in South Carolina for some time. I know some of you are watching me from there, so hello. And what he said? Well, he said this. He was actually criticizing NATO allies for not funding the organization enough. The statement that he was also making during his presidency. And he said those words, I will not protect non-compliant NATO countries from Russia. Here are his words during that rally. He said, one of the president of a large country asked me, well, sir, if we don't pay and are attacked by Russia, will you protect us? And Trump replied, no, I will not protect you. In fact, I will encourage them, meaning Russia, to do whatever they want with you. You have to pay. And the White House responded to those words, saying, encouraging the invasion of our closest allies by murderous regimes is appealing and senseless. This threatens America's national security, global stability, and our domestic economy. I mean, those words are just becoming like, blah, right? Anyway. So when Trump said that, Polish President Andrzej Duda responded, the Poland-United States alliance must be strong, regardless of who is currently in power in Poland. I have always acted in this spirit and will continue to do so, respecting all of our partners in the United States. By the way, Duda continues, thanks to the wise and far-sighted policy of the last 8 years, we spent 4% of GDP, this is Polish GDP, okay? 4% of GDP on defense. Actually, I think it's even more than 4.2. I think it's 4.2. Thanks to this, Poland is and will be safe. Duda said. So, at this point, I haven't checked recently, Poland, I believe, is in the first 3 or 4 countries, or maybe even second after United States, in spending for NATO. It spends actually more than is required. The scale, the size of the country, and the GDP of the country, compare this to the United States, or compare this to actually any other country that is part of NATO, from Europe. Compare it. Just compare to many countries, other countries, Germany, I'm just saying. And since I know there is no threat, even though they present it as there is, they will be still keep on spending this money to make us feel safe from the threat that does not really exist unless they create a real danger. From here, I'm saying. Now, this is how they are changing the rhetoric 2 years later, when 500,000 people, if not more, I don't know the exact number, have been already killed, died for nothing. They put these articles out. Polish portal, Ukraine will not win. This is the title of the article. You will not imagine title like this even a year ago. I don't think even half a year ago. Definitely not 2 years ago. But now, when we are coming to the second anniversary of this man slaughtering there, we have this article. We need to stop wishful thinking and start bashing our Polish strategy on a variant in which Ukraine actually loses some of its territory. After 2 years of war in Ukraine, we are in the same time in a completely different and at the same time at the same place as the first months of the war. I mean, great, right? Like Twilight Zone. Sentiments have changed significantly also in Ukraine itself compared to those in the second half of 2022. Its chances in the conflict and its internal situation are assessed differently. At the same time, in Poland, after the victory of Donald Tusk coalition, there is a renaissance of the blunt and primitive pro-Ukrainian narrative, as if nothing has changed at all. Guys, this is from the Polish portal. There are new accents. The elites have begun to scare us with an impending war. Oh, okay. In the conditions of limited trust in them, one may have doubt whether these warnings are not simply a form of pacifying the rebellion against supplying the corrupt Ukrainian state with successive trenches of money. Wow, what an article though. However, even in the notion of Ukraine's victory, which was regularly presented in the language of the Polish debate on the war, has virtually disappeared until about the middle of last year, when realists called for this victory to be defined. Yes, when realists called for this victory to be defined, the response was two ways of understanding it. The first, moderate, is simply for Ukraine to defend its sovereignty. The second, much more often invoked and overly optimistic at the time, was to deprive Russia of all territories it had taken over, including Crimea. Today, Kiev's regaining of Crimea can only be talked about by someone completely detached from reality. Okay, so I read this again. I'm telling you, not long time ago, you will not be able to have such an article in Poland at all. Today, Kiev's regaining of Crimea can only be talked about by someone completely detached from reality. Even President Andrzej Duda, in an interview with Channel Zero, you remember I told you about it, was restrained on this issue, stating, quoting Duda, "I don't know if Ukraine will regain Crimea." You remember I told you about it. Of course, this was a very diplomatic formulation because it is clear to any sober observer that Ukraine will not regain Crimea in the foreseeable future. Sober observer. So I guess majority of us who are with me on this channel, we have been sober observers for all this time. So congratulations to all of us. You can still have a glass of wine occasionally and be a sober observer. Yes, you can. Now the next topic is, everyone, if we are actually talking about Ukraine, article from German portal says that Germany is afraid of Russian victory. About 10 million people will leave the country. If Ukraine fails, about 10 million people will leave the country, Die Welt reported, citing sources among German law enforcement officials and German parliamentarians. The journalists of Die Welt point out that in a scenario where Russia wins the war, one of the main targets of migrants from Ukraine will be their homeland, meaning Germany, right? In this scenario, the vast majority of refugees will go to Western Europe, with Germany being one of the main destination countries. I know many of you are watching me from Germany. I would so appreciate you leaving in the comments down below. How is the situation in your country at this moment with the refugees and also with the migration overall? I would really appreciate that because that's how we actually share the info in the comment section as well between one another. One more thing. Even though they put articles like this in Polish media and Polish portals, we still have the subject of helping Ukraine, because Polish law loan for Ukraine, there is something like this. Here is what they can get for the money. According to the according to the military portal, Ukraine has received a Polish loan to purchase the armaments and financing also of military operation. Kiev has received a significant number of post-Soviet armaments, for example, BWP-1 infantry fighting vehicles and 251 Gwozdika howitzers, and modern ones such as Krab howitzers and Rosomak APC as well. In addition, the Polish plant is involved in the overhaul and modernization of Ukrainian T-64 tanks. However, the possibilities of supplying equipment to Ukraine from the resources of the Polish army are currently close to exhaustion. Poland has therefore granted a loan to its neighbor. This is a very similar approach to Czechoslovakia, who have created a credit line with Ukraine since 2022 for the purchase of military equipment in their arms industry. So those of you who are interested specifically in what kind of equipment they are talking about and how soon this will be delivered, please go to the link that will be attached as all the links to those articles down below this video in the description box, and it gives you the exact names of those military equipments that they will be apparently buying if they can. And the last part of this video, as I lately do, and I think you enjoy this because I see in your comments, are the comments that I have chosen from my latest video. And maybe we start with this one. This was the video I was talking about Ursula the witch, Ursula von der Leyen, being on that effigy during the protest of Polish farmers, which by the way are still going on and they will continue, very strong protests. And I just want to say that once again, if there's anyone watching me, I don't think you have time for watching my videos, Polish farmers, like for real. But if for some reason someone is watching or some family members are watching, I just want to say with all my heart, I support you completely. Stay strong. I know what you're fighting for, and I'm sending you all of my support and all of my energy. Let's go to the comments. I've mentioned during this video also that Latvia makes the military service compulsory, and someone from Latvia actually has responded. Thank you so much. This is from Last Pagan 9894, who says most Latvians call Krišjānis Kariņš, this is the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Latvia, Evans Karins, I'm so sorry, which means bad egg in Latvian. Okay, so they call him bad egg in Latvian, and he is a United States citizen. So the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Latvia is the citizen of United States, okay. Most of the Latvians don't like the government they have, and what they do, and yes, I am Latvian. So thank you for leaving this feedback, because I know there is not many of you watching me from Latvia. The next comment I have is from One Day We Will, that's a cool name. And you say, I remember when it was the European Economic Community. That worked well. Then someone probably said we could make millions if used the same currency and had a parliament in Brussels. That's when it started to go downhill. Thank you for your comment. And last but not least, I have the comment from Aisha Roberts 2583. This is about the short attention span, which means people don't watch the full length of my video, but they right away jump into conclusions. You are right, it's the way these days, instant everything. This is sad reflection of our times. Patience, common sense, respect, and good manners have flown out the window. These dark people are in the shadows, all light drained. Thank you, Aisha Roberts, for your comment. I am 100% sure that the majority of my viewers have patience, have respect, have a lot of common sense, and is very loving and good-hearted as well. So I have the best audience I could ever ask for. With this being said, all the links are attached down below this video, as well as my Instagram, what is there, mailing list, locals community. Please join me there. If you feel like you want to support my work, you can buy me a coffee. The link will be down below this video as well, and PayPal as well. You can become the supporter on Locals if you choose to. And that's it. Lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. Bye everyone. Have a great week.